let's take our hands. We're going to interlock our fingers. I'm going to come forward a little bit more. We'll interlock our fingers beneath our chin, and then we'll take a deep breath in through our nose. We allow our stomach to get bigger on the in-breath. Our elbows are going to float up to the sky. With an exhale, we're going to tilt our head back gently and bring our elbows forward. So nice little circular flow here. In-breath, elbows float up, stomach expands. Hold the breath in. Exhale out through the mouth, elbows come forward. Tilt back forward. In breath, stomach expands, elbows get nice and high. Exhale out of the mouth fully. In breath through the nose. Elbows float up towards the sky. Exhale out of the mouth, elbows come forward. Good. Let those arms float to the side. We love to shake everything out in between. We're going to do one more nice full body warm-up movement here. This is one of my favorite. We call it the world's greatest because it does everything we need. So what we do here, we're going to kick our right leg out in front of us. Make sure you can see our right leg out in front of us. My heel is on the floor. My toe is pointing up to the sky. I'm going to gently lean forward with my chest. Can support myself on my legs if I want. My back is still flat. I have a good athletic position here. I'm not slumped over. Chest is up. I can look up towards the screen. Coming over, feeling a stretch through the hamstring of my right leg and down through the calf. The more I point that toe up to the sky, the better that stretch is going to be. I'm breathing steadily here. I'm feeling nice and natural. A good check for you always to do is, can I look around with my neck in the middle of the stretch? Am I relaxed enough to feel other parts of my body, to notice other parts of my body? That's a great thing to do. And then we reach up with our right hand. If you want a little bit of an extra stretch, if we reach up with our right hand, that's going to give us just a little bit more of a stretch here. And then exhale, come back to center. Good, wonderfully done. We're going to kick our left leg out here. Heel is on the floor, toe is pointing up to the sky. Going to gently lean forward. My chest is open, my back is flat. I'm breathing fully and deeply. I'm feeling a good stretch down through my left hamstring, down through my left calf. For a little added extra stretch here, we reach up with our left hand, try to look up towards the sky with our left arm. Good, and exhale. Wonderful. We're going to get into some of those Tabata rounds of exercises here. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We'll do some of our favorite basic exercises. Good work for today. We'll finish off with a little mindfulness experience and get you started off on this Monday here for a good week. So we got 5 movements. We're going to do squats. We love our squats. Great basic, very important movement. I'll show you different angles on that movement when we start off, so you just get a different perspective on things. But we're doing squat to stand out of the chair. Then we're going to stay seated all the time. We're going to do overheaded press, alternating overhead press, punching up above our head, imagining we've got a big weight in our hand, using our mind muscle connection to really get those shoulder muscles working. That's our second exercise. Third exercise is going to be calf raises. We're going to push down and resist our legs moving up. We're going to come up onto our toes to work our calf muscles. Fourth movement will be bent over rows. We're just going to bend over and do a rowing movement. And then fifth movement will be leg extensions with a turn to the other side, leg extension and twist. Those are our 5 movements. Let's jump into 40 seconds of squats, and then we'll take a little break in between. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We'll do all 5 of these movements. Let's jump into it in 3, 2, 1. So we're doing a squat to stand here out of the chair. We want to use our legs to get into and out of the chair. You keep working. Let me show you from the side. So good athletic posture, reaching back with my hips to sit down onto the chair. My back is flat. My chest is open and up. Let's work for 3, 2, 1. Good place to pause. We're coming back to center. I'm going to move my chair around so you can see some of the movements I'm doing and how I'm doing them. You do the movement that feels right for you on your end, and you increase, dial up the intensity as you feel that your body needs it and you're ready to go. So if you want to pick up the pace a little bit, squeeze those muscles a little bit more, that's good by me. Our next movement is alternating overhead press. We're going to sit nice and tall. We have our core engaged, sitting up, back is flat, shoulders are down and back, arms up to the side, alternating overhead press, starting in 3, 2, 1. So you're just imagining you got a nice big weight in your hand, using the mind muscle connection to get those shoulder muscles working. But of course, with everything, we have full body mindfulness happening. So we're aware of our core. We're aware of how do my feet feel on the ground. Am I relaxed in the movement? Let's work hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. Third exercise is going to be calf raises. Let me show you from the side. So I'm going to push down with my arms, and I'm going to lift my heels up off the floor. The muscle we're working is the calf muscle. So we push up off of our toes, and we resist with our hands to give us a little bit extra work on those calf muscles. So let's start that together in 3, 2, 1. So I'm resisting with my big arm and shoulder muscles. I'm pushing up with my calf muscles. Full extension coming up onto our toes. Think of like a ballet dancer being able to come up all the way onto their toes. Work for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. I'm going to stay here so you can get a side view on this next movement. You're comfortable where you are, working as hard as you can based on how you feel today. We're going to do a slight bend over like we did in that warm-up movement, the world's greatest. Bend over in a way that will probably start to feel some tightness in our glutes, a little bit of a stretch in our glutes and our hamstrings, but our back's flat, we're comfortable. And from here, we're going to do a row. So we're going to row into our back, good squeeze in the middle of the back. A good cue to imagine is, imagine there's a pencil in the middle of your back and you're trying to squeeze and hold on to that pencil at the top of each rep. Let's jump into that good rowing, squeezing movement. Let's jump into that right now in 3, 2, 1. So again, we imagine there's a weight in our hands. We're squeezing those back muscles, pinching those together. Good mind muscle connection working here. Working hard through the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Good work there. One more movement on this first set. We're going to do leg extensions with a twist. So one leg's coming up. Again, sitting nice and tall. If you want to start off, if this becomes challenging for you, obviously you could just work the leg extension. That's challenging in its own way. Bottom half of your leg comes off the ground by extending through our quad here, flexing this quad muscle, and we're staying nice and tall as we do it. So it can be tempting to sort of sit back, slouch back at that point. Part of the challenge is engaging the core enough to stay tall as you extend. So as we extend, we do a twist to the opposite side. So we're just twisting with our upper body. That's sort of an added movement. If you want to just work the leg extension at first, that's fine with me. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Twist to the side, twist to the side. Working through the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. Nice job there. That's our first set. Good round of exercise. That's a really good full body work there. You can use that anytime you're weak. We're going to do a similar rhythm standing in just a few minutes. We'll do one more round of seated exercises. But that's it. It's all the major muscles. You got upper body, lower body, core involved, pushing, pulling, all the basic movement patterns. Got me sweating a little bit. I hope you're in good shape over there. Let's grab a little drink of water. And we'll do one more round of those exercises before we move on to standing exercises. It'll be a similar pattern. We'll do one round of those today. We'll do a meditation to finish off the day. Great start to our Monday. We're a community here. We know each other's rhythms, each other's style. And it's always a pleasure to be able to jump into a class with you, no matter the timing. So joy to be here. Let's jump into our second round of exercises. We're going to do squat to stand. I showed you that from the side before. Basic observation here is just we're always getting into and out of chairs in our world, in our life, cars, chairs at work, chairs at home, sitting down to eat, sitting down to watch TV. We might as well be pretty good at that movement pattern because it's something we do a lot. So let's get good at that here by squatting up out of our chair and do a good standing position, starting in 3, 2, 1. So using my legs, I sort of keep my hands out in front as a counterbalance. All the movements coming from my legs. Really feel the quads working, feel the glutes working. The butt muscles, very important, strong, powerful muscles. Sometimes they get a little weak in our population these days. We want to keep those glutes nice and strong. Very important. They'll help your back health, keep your hamstrings happy. Let's finish in 3, 2, 1. Great work there. First movement. Next up, just a few seconds, alternating overhead press. Really think of that weight being in your hand. Mind, muscle connection, get those shoulder muscles, those tricep muscles, the pushing muscles in your arm. Get all that working nice and strong. In 3, 2, 1. Remember, sitting nice and tall here. We're not slumped back or forward. Our core's engaged. Our back muscles are involved. And we're working hard through the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. That should get the whole arm, shoulder area feeling nice and warm. It's not just the sort of tip of the shoulder, but it's the back. It gets the upper chest involved. All that whole shoulder complex is moving, feeling nice and happy. Third movement is our calf raises. Heels coming up off the floor. Think of those ballet toes coming up all the way onto our toes, pushing with the calf muscles, resisting with our arms to add a little bit extra work for our calves here today. Let's get into that in 3, 2, 1. Work through the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. 2 more movements seated. We'll do 1 round of standing. We'll finish off with a mindfulness experience, a good reminder to savor what we've been experiencing. And then we'll head off into our full weeks here on a Monday. So our next move is going to be a row. Bent over, core is engaged, chest is open, back is flat, but we are slightly bent over. We do our row. We squeeze those upper back muscles. Imagine there's a pencil in the middle of your back and you're trying to hold that at the top of each rep. Let's start into that together in 3, 2, 1. Good squeeze again, mind muscle connection here. We can activate all the muscles of our body with our mind, strengthening, developing, deepening that connection. Good way to stay healthy and happy. Working for 3, 2, 1. Great work there. 1 more exercise seated, our alternating leg extension with a twist to the opposite side. So left leg comes up, we twist to the right. Okay, a little opposite twist. That's getting the core engaged. Think to connect the mind with the core in this movement as well as with the quad muscle. But we're sitting up straight, we're not slouched back, and that's part of that twist is keeping that core engaged. It's a good core exercise here as well. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1. Couple more reps, work through the end here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. 2 rounds of seated exercises. Let's get up out of our chair, practicing that good form we're working on here. I'm going to adjust my camera slightly. You grab a drink, and we'll do some standing exercises, and then come back together for a mindfulness experience. Okay, good. So let me even try this right here. Maybe that helps a little bit. Cool. Okay, we have this chair in front of us. We're using this for balance and for support. If we need it, I'm going to move it around so you can still see my movement. But if you're standing up at home in your space, whatever helps you to feel comfortable and confident, you've got that chair there for support. I do recommend always just keeping it near. If you get into an intense set and get a little lightheaded or whatever, then you know you always got that chair there just to hold on to for some confidence and support. We're going to do 5 movements here. We're going to use the chair for, you guessed it, a squat. So we use that chair for support, get a good squatting motion in. This is a standing squat now, but again, squat's a very foundational, basic, important movement. We're going to do then one of my favorite moves, the bow and arrow. So we're going to come down into a squat, come up in between, come down into the bow and arrow. Again, I'll give you some more details on that in just a moment. Our next move, I'm going to move this over here. Our next move will be, and you'll have the chair in front of you, it's going to be rock the boat. We're going to come up onto our calf muscles. You got a range of intensities there that you could dial in. If this feels good enough to you, extend through the calf muscle, feel that calf muscle involved. If that feels good enough for you, then you just hang out here. The more you go up into the boat rock, the more you work the calf muscle. So that's another calf exercise, really good for us. 4th movement will just be punches, standing punches. You can stagger your step a little bit if you want. I'll probably do that, but we just want to then keep both sides balanced by staggering both sides. And our 5th movement will be balance. I'm going to lift our leg up off the floor. Try to hold that for the 40 seconds. I'll talk you through some variations and other options you have there in a moment. But we're starting off with squats. I'm going to come forward so you can see me here. So you're behind the chair, just a good squatting motion. Let's get into a good squat with the chair in 3, 2, 1. So using the chair, coming down into a nice, good squat, as low as feels comfortable for you. I'll move around. I'll show you from the side just so you get a sense here of what I'm doing. Using the chair for support. My back is flat. My body's still nice and athletic. I'm going as low as feels comfortable for me today. Let's finish for reps here. Let's do 3 more reps together, starting now. 1, 2, 3. Good, excellent work. So again, you got your chair in front of you now coming up. I'm going to move it to the side just so you can see me over here a little bit better. We're going to do the crouched bow and arrow. So you got a little bit of a wide stance here that you could crouch down into nicely. We're going to crouch down into the bow and arrow. Really imagine pulling that bow and arrow, get the back muscles involved, get the arm muscles, and then you come down into a sort of squatting crouch as you do so. So play with this. This is meant to be a natural movement. Have a little fun. Imagine you're a warrior. Let's get into this in 3, 2, 1. So we're coming to both sides, hanging out down in the bottom for just a few seconds. A longer hold might be fun for you. Go for 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. Then we're going to do rock the boat next. So have the chair in front of you. Use that for a little extra balance. You get to dial in whatever intensity you want. Your feet can remain on the floor the whole time. And then as I come to the right, my left calf is working, my left heel is up off the ground, I'm up on my toes. Opposite happens on the left side. The more you pick your foot up off the ground and go into a full calf extension, the more work you're getting on the calf. So you dial in the intensity you want. Good squeeze in the calf muscle. Let's play around with that for 40 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. So start small, just feel the movement out. Get to know how your calf muscles each feel. Maybe one's a little different than the other. My right calf muscle's a little bit more sort of unstable, needs a little extra work. So I give it that love and that care. But as we go, we could come up a little bit more into a calf extension on either side. Working for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Excellent work. 2 more movements, but we got to do both sides. So we'll do 20 seconds on each side for both these movements because we're going to do punches. We're going to do balance. So we'll do 20 seconds of punches, staggered right leg back, 20 seconds of punches, staggered left leg back. I'll show you how to use the chair for the balance. 20 seconds of balance with the chair on the left, 20 seconds on the right. We'll do a mindfulness experience together. We'll get ready for a walk. So let's start off with punches. I'm going to start off with my right leg, foot staggered back. If you want to just square up and punch the whole time, that's fine with me as well. It's just usually with sort of boxing movements, we like to do the sort of staggered right foot back, left leg forward position. So right leg slightly back, left leg slightly forward. We're going to punch for 20. We'll switch to the other side, punch for 20. Then we'll do our balance. Okay, let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. So you start off steady. You could pick up the speed. You could pick up the strength of your punches. Again, we're just having fun with this. Going to light up our shoulders for a little bit. Get our arms nice and happy. Go for a natural switch here. Left leg goes back. Hip, come right back to the punching. But now your core should feel a little different. This coming from this side should feel a little different to your body. And that's what we like. Working hard for 3, 2, 1. Whew. Shoulders should feel worked. Arms should feel worked. Upper back. We've hit the whole body today. We're feeling good. Great way to end. Challenging way to end is to continue to work on our balance. That's been a class focus for us. Going back a while now that we were asked to incorporate some more balance work. Always good for us to work on that. That's a real essential life skill. We want to keep our body sharp in that way. So you could just have the chair next to you, in front of you, whatever feels good. We'll work on one leg at a time. The hope, the goal, the sort of most challenging version of this is to get up to 90 degrees at the knees, at the ankles, at the hips. That's where we're headed. If all you could do is pick it up off the floor, that's fine. If that doesn't feel so good, you could do a back lift. You could try to kick that leg up. Some way of picking one foot up off the floor and trying to stand solid and tall and comfortable for about 20, 25 seconds. We'll do each side, use the chair for support, and that's what we'll do. So we're going to start off with the right leg. Try to hold this for 20, 25 seconds. We'll go to the other side, starting in 3, 2, 1. Try to breathe comfortably and naturally through this. Try to find a sense of balance and rhythm and comfort in this movement or in this position. But you're also starting to settle your mind and your body down for our meditation. Let's put that right leg to the ground. Let's bring the left leg up. You got your chair for support. Last little stretch here, everybody. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. You can come back to your chair. I'm going to come up closer to the screen, adjust my screen. Always a good idea to grab a drink of water. Excellent. So we'll do a little mindfulness experience. One of my daily go-tos for mindfulness, for feeling settled, is some sort of a review meditation. And this takes a lot of different forms. Some people love to journal. Benjamin Franklin used to review his day, sort of plan his day, I think at the start of the day, and then review his day at the end of the day. For like an hour on each end, he would just spend thinking about that day, reflecting on the day. What did I do? What did I accomplish? What happened? I was taught a particular version of this called the examine, where I would talk about, what moments were fulfilling, what moments were less fulfilling, and then think about why that was and what does that mean for my life. And that sort of, it's easy to lose track of what happens in our days. We live full, hectic days in a constantly stimulating world and environment where we have TV and advertisements and texts and emails and all the different things. It's easy at the end of the day to go, what even happened today? And well, we're invited then to take our time to sit for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes and review the day. And so this will be a little example of that. I call my sort of model highs, lows, and hopes. We look at the highs of the last day, we look at what were the lows, and we set some hopes moving forward about how we want to be tomorrow. And so with any mindfulness experience, it's good just to start with a moment of gathering. We sit comfortably in our chair. We start to breathe in through our nose more deeply. Pull deep breaths into our stomach. We try to let go of any distractions. If any thought or worry comes to mind, we let it float away. And then when we feel centered and ready to look at our day with eyes of compassion and love, we can use this three-part structure: highs, lows, and hopes. So I want you to think over your last day, but you could do any timeline if you have more time and you want to look over a week or a month or a year. The basic approach and structure is the same. What were the highs of the last day? Where did I feel most fully myself? Where did I possess those qualities I consider most important to myself? Love, joy, mercy, humor, whatever it might be. Think about those moments from yesterday, bring them to mind, savor them for a moment, and just notice them. And allow yourself to be surprised by your own memory. Maybe you don't even remember what a particular high was until this moment. Well, that's a gift. Savor that. Good. And then in a full meditation experience, you would allow each of these steps to unfold and to deepen in its own way and its own logic. But for now, we'll move on to the next step, just to have a model. And then I certainly invite and encourage you to use this technique at other times when you have more space and you let the structure sort of guide you. How long do you sit with those highs? How long do you sit with each of the next two steps? That's up to the moment and up to you. But for now, we'll move to lows together. So this is where when we did not feel fully ourselves, and this is not coming from a place of judgment or harshness or meanness or cruelty towards ourselves. We look at ourselves with the same love as we do the rest of the world. But we look at when we fell away for ourselves. Maybe we felt more afraid, more angry, more lonely, more judgmental, whatever it might be. And that's understandable, but we just notice it. We notice how and why it came about so that maybe we could not fall as deeply into it in the future. But all this comes from a place of love, self-understanding, self-acceptance. So look at any moments where you did not feel fully yourself yesterday, in the last week, in the last month. Notice it, love it, think about why, and let it go. And we certainly invite you to let go of any of those lows, but we learn from them. And we grow in wisdom and maturity when we can notice and anticipate even the times where we might not be the full beings we imagine ourselves to be or hope for ourselves to be. And so then taking these two experiences, and again, let this unfold for yourself more deeply in the future, then we set hopes. We think about the highs, we think about the lows, what led to, created, encouraged those moments. And then we set hopes for tomorrow. How do we hope to be tomorrow in light of everything else? We looked at that. We let this all come to mind. We just let our mind and our heart explore these different ideas and leave with whatever gifts we received from the experience. But now set any hopes you have for tomorrow, for the next week, for the next month, for the next year. Good, and let's begin to return to full awareness wherever you are. If your eyes have been closed, you could begin to gently open them. Shift your body about a little bit. And whatever you experienced in that meditation is right for you. There is no right thing we're trying to experience, right way to do it, right answer we're looking for. If in a particular mindfulness experience we feel distracted, that's normal, that's fine. That's why we call it a practice. If some insight, intuition, feeling comes deeply and easily and quickly, good, we notice that, we're grateful for that. And we just accept that as a gift then. And so the basic point here, basic idea is taking time to reflect on what's happened is a really good, healthy, spiritually, emotionally enlivening practice, I think. We live in a busy, overstimulating, fully packed world. For every moment we're asked, told to be productive, to do, create, to make meaning out of that time. And we don't always take the time to reflect on it and say, what was that like for me? What was that like for my mind, my heart, my body? And we could bring any of those perspectives, but looking back, reflecting, considering, hugely important practice, I think, in our contemporary world. It's been a practice that's produced a lot of fruits in my life, a lot of self-understanding, self-acceptance, and deeper wisdom. So practice that more thoroughly at your own time in the future. Maybe works at night, maybe works in the morning over a cup of coffee. You know, all of these different techniques, there's no big secret out there that you're going to get access to. There's just applying the tools, applying the techniques, listening to the outcome and the experience, and trying to deepen your experience of it as you go.